Alright, we have this project window, and the next thing we are going to do is drag our project files, and the links for the project file are in description of this video. So let's drag them all into our project window, which can be accessed via assembly layout. And now we have to use a timeline, so let's create a timeline, and either we can right click here to get to new item, or we can click on the new item button. Click on sequence. Now I have saved my sequence, which is going to be 1920 by 1080, and the frame rates are going to be 30 frames per second, and let's click OK. So we have this timeline active, and we are going to drag our first clip into the timeline. Let's drag this clip with the flower. Yes, I want to keep the existing settings, and let's zoom in with the help of Alt and scroll wheel. Okay, now we are going to explore the color correction layout of Premiere. So let's click on the color. Now you will see we have our color settings on right hand side, but they are inactive. So how we can make them active? Click on the clip you want to do the color correction on, and they will all be active now. So let's explore these. Let me close the drawer. So we can see here there are number of drawers or number of sections starting from basic correction to vignette. These are different styles of color correction and different techniques of color correction. So let's start with the basic correction. In the basic correction, we have first option as input LUT, and it's called lookup table, and we have it's like a preset. We can select any preset either from the default Premiere ones, or we can download and browse it from any website. So let me select one, and you can see for this preset this will be the final effect, or we can change to none. Now below it we have the first settings, which is called white balance. So we can either cool the video or cool the overall look and feel, or we can make it warmer. So with the help of these sliders I can either make the video warmer or make it bluish or cooler. And we can also change the tint. For example, it's red orange here, and we can make it to more red. Okay, we can undo that, undo, and then we have these tone sliders, and here we have exposure, and the slider is in the middle. If we move the slider towards the right, it's going to increase the exposure, and if we move the slider to the left, it's going to decrease the exposure. Exposure is the overall light of the image, overall brightness of the image. Then we have this contrast slider, and same goes with here. If I move it to right hand side, it's going to increase the contrast, and if I move it to left hand side, it's going to decrease the contrast. What is contrast? Contrast is the difference between light and dark. And then we have highlights. All these sliders are kind of like same to same. There are a minor difference between them. So the highlights will highlight or brighten the bright area of the image. So again we can move it to the right hand side for increase, and for the left hand side for decrease in the effect. Then we have this color of shadows, and we can apply the same brightness to the darker part of images. The white does the same, and the blacks does the same. Now at the bottom we can either reset, or we can ask Premiere to make some automatic calculations. For example, it has decreased the shadows and tried to overall make the image balanced. If I want to keep the settings, but I want to check the image without this effect, I can simply uncheck this tick box, and the settings are now here, but they are not applied to the clip. So let's go into the creative section. Okay, then we have this creative tab, and here we have again same looks. It's same to same as presets, and we can either select any preset from here, or we can quickly browse through it with the help of these arrows. Below is the intensity, the amount of effect that is going to be applied And then we have these adjustments. In adjustment there is faded film slider, and it gives the effect of faded film, like overall a grayish look on the image, on the clip. Then we have this sharpen, and it sharpens the image. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's increase the size of this window. Okay, we can sharpen it and we can blur it. So if you see the flower, you can see it's now a little bit blurred, and if I sharpen it, it's a little bit sharpened. Let's revert it back to 0. Then we have this vibrance and saturation. So first let's see what saturation does. It's increasing the amount of color in the clip, but vibrance is kind of same. And how this applies: in saturation, the color is saturated on the colored parts, mostly on the colored parts, but vibrance will try to add color and saturation to the parts which are not very colorful. So we can understand it easily like this, that saturation is enhancing the effect, while vibrance is trying to force every color to be saturated. Then we have this shadow tint and highlight tint. It's just a fancy way of adding colors to either shadows part of the image or highlight part of the image. Let me try that. Let's say I want the shadows to be bluish, and you can see the whole image is getting a little bit bluer, and I can drag the image, drag this mouse on the wheel and get the desired results. Same to same, we can apply that same color to the highlight part. For example, if I want to make the highlights a bit reddish, I can try that. Then we have this tint balance, and it's going to balance between the highlight and shadow tint. So this is how the creative section of color correction works, and let's uncheck it to undo the effects. Then we have this curves section. Curves in short controls the lightness, darkness, contrast and everything we have seen in the basic correction, but it gives you more power over the area you can apply the correction. For example, the bottom part of the curve, bottom left part of the curve is dark part, and top right part is the light part or bright part. So if I move my cursor on to the line, I'll see a pen icon and with a plus icon, pen icon with a plus sign. So if I click on the line, it's going to add an anchor point, and if I move it around, you can see I can increase or decrease the brightness of the clip. Now the power comes when you can add multiple anchor points, but they are also linked to each other, so change in one will also affect change in other. For example, if I add an anchor point here, and let's move this one. So if I'm moving it to right hand side, the top side is moving towards the right hand side. You can see it's kind of like connected to each other. So in this way I can either increase or decrease the contrast, you can see. So we can get all type of effects, and I can add more anchor points to give it a custom look, for example. So with the help of curves you can get very accurate and enhancement on the image and to the part you want to apply it. So this is how very basically the curves work. And for example, let me show you an example, a style of film that was popular some time ago. In this style we are going to highlight in red color and make the shadows in blue color. So let's click on the red color, red channel, and click on the center. Let's click here and do not release the mouse button and keep dragging. So we are getting a little bit of S curve. I am exaggerating it so you can see what I'm talking about. We don't usually apply that much effect on the film unless you are making something very creative and bold. And we are going to do the same for the blue channel. Click on the center point. Now this time we are going to click on the bottom left section and keep dragging it. Yes, I can. Yes, now you see the shadow parts are kind of blue. I have exaggerated it very much so you can see it in the recording. So this is how we can apply the film look. And then we have different curves for hue, saturation, but for this class I think little bit introduction is enough. So this is how the curves work. It is the most advanced form of basic correction. Then we have color wheels and match. They kind of work like same to same with the curves, but you can say this is another way of doing things, and different people feel comfortable with different styles of sliders. Some people feel comfortable with the sliders, but some feel with comfortable with the curves, and some feel comfortable with the color wheel. So we have these three color wheels. One is for the shadows and other is for highlight and mid-tone. So if we are going to do the same thing we have done with the curves. Let's make the shadows a little bit blue and make the highlights a little bit red. Okay, let's make it more blue since the image is a little bit yellowish. And we can change the mid-tones. Mid-tone will be the middle part of the light, and if we drag the mouse slider we can apply different effects. For example, we can go with the horror tone which is a little bit greenish, or we can go with the warm feel which is a little bit red, and we can go with the cool blue. So that totally depends on the taste or the project you are working, but this is the way you can match the colors of different footages. Then we have hue, saturation and lightness. It's a little more advanced and out of the scope of this class. And last but not least, we have this vignette, and we can apply the old style film look with this. For example, if I drag the slider towards the left, it's going to make the corners dark, and if I drag it to the right, it's going to make it white. So we can achieve different looks from this slider. For example, it's with the help of dark slider we can make it look like an old film, but with the help of bright vignette we can make it look like a dreamy scene. And now we have this midpoint. Let me first remove the feather so you can see what's going on. So we have this circle which is either turning white or turning black. Then we have this midpoint, and midpoint is from where the circle is starting and ending. And then we have roundness. So either we can make it oval or we can make it circular. So you are going to set your look from here, and then you can apply a feather. Now it's giving a little bit of old style film look or a dreamy look. So this is how you do color correction with the help of different clips, and your main purpose is either to enhance the colors or to match the color of different clips. In the next part we are going to add some green screen footages, and we are going to remove the green screen from them.